Hello, this is Deborah with Black Education TV, and real quickly I wanted to do a video concerning tax returns, and there's an article on Vox.com which gives more details on how the government shutdown will affect tax returns. Now, I'm just going to read from the article so that you can get the best information from what they are saying concerning this, because we do know tax season is a very important season for many. A lot of people try to get out of a hole as it relates to bills or money that they've spent for Christmas, a holiday in which we shouldn't even be wasting our time on. But a lot of people are trying to get out of the hole from the debt that they've incurred during the Christmas holiday. A lot of people are trying to get a step ahead in things that they may have fallen behind on. Some people are trying to start businesses and get a new start with things that they believe may improve their lives. And then, of course, you have those who use this time of year to splurge and blow money on nonsensical things. But anyway, I'm going to read this article so that you can see how the government shutdown is going to affect your tax returns, okay? It seems to be explained here on the site. Now, it says the short of it is you can file your tax return, but don't expect a refund soon. Okay. And then it goes on to say it's tax filing season, but the federal government is now shut down after a debate over immigration got in the way of Congress passing a spending deal. So how will this affect your tax returns and refunds? The short version is you can still mail in your tax return or submit them online. And if the federal government shutdown only lasts a few days and ends specifically before January 29th, there shouldn't be a noticeable effect on getting your tax refund or any other processing. That's because the IRS wasn't planning to accept returns until January 29th anyway. But if the shutdown drags on longer, there could be delays and other serious problems at the IRS. So if you plan to rely on your tax refund for a big January or February purchase, you may want to hold off. The long version is this. As part of the federal government shutdown, the IRS will retain less than half of its workforce, or a little more than 35,000 people, according to a contingency plan. That will let the IRS continue some operations in the short term. Some examples: processing electronic returns, processing returns with payments, mailing tax forms, appeals, civil and criminal cases, criminal investigations, and some technical work to make sure computer systems remain up and running. So you will be able to mail in your tax returns and submit them online, whatever you prefer. But depending on how long the shutdown lasts, there could be some problems. First, tax refunds will stop being issued. Now, this shouldn't affect most taxpayers unless the shutdown drags on, although the IRS considers tax filing season to run between January 1st and April 30th. It wasn't planning to accept 2017 tax returns until January 29th, according to CNN. Okay, so hopefully this provides some information for those who are concerned about their tax returns. But I'm going to read a little bit more on this article just to make sure that I'm not missing anything important here. So if the shutdown ends before then, there shouldn't be a big impact on getting people's 2017 tax returns or tax refunds issued. Now, if the shutdown lasts beyond January 29th, expect delays on those refunds since, after all, the government will be running out of cash. One group that could be affected: those still waiting on tax refunds from 2017. As long as the government remains closed down, don't expect to get those refunds. Okay, so I guess they're saying those who, I'll just leave it with what they're saying here. It says those still waiting on tax refunds from 2017. So I guess that would be last year if you filed and you're still waiting on a refund. Okay, meanwhile, the IRS will also stop several other functions, audits, return examinations, non-automated collections, and 1040X processing, among other operations. For a full list, check out the IRS's contingency plan. One other area in which the IRS may have problems is implementing the 2017 tax plan passed by Republicans in Congress and signed by President Donald Trump. National taxpayer advocate Nina Olson have already told Congress earlier this year that the IRS needed more money to implement the law. A shutdown will likely make the problems worse, though, as with other possible problems, it shouldn't get too bad unless the shutdown continues for long. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that everyone is hoping that they will just wrap this thing up and end the shutdown. Today is the 23rd, so we are 6 days out in determining whether or not it's going to go beyond the 29th. And apparently, if it ends before the 29th, everyone should be good on their tax returns and things should flow pretty much as normal. But if it goes beyond the 29th, if they're not able to iron all of this out, then there will be delays on getting your tax refunds. And there's even talk about 2017 that if you haven't gotten your 2017 tax return or tax refund, it says as long as the government remains closed down, don't expect to get those refunds. So that's talking about from last year. So that's pretty much it, family. I'm just trying to give you some information because there's a lot of talk on social media about what everyone's going to do with their tax refund. Someone had given some great suggestions on how people can come together, bring their money together, in which we talk about this, I would say, every year, that it's a great idea for people to come together and make use of their funds to benefit a larger group of people and not just waste your money or waste your refund on nonsensical things, because most people use this time as that opportunity to just splurge. I don't get that mindset. When you look at the economy and how horrible things are right now, if you're going to get that large injection of cash into your pocket during this time, that's the best time to make plans for things that you need to have done in these coming months. Okay, tax refunds don't usually last you more than a couple of months or more than a few months unless you invest it into something that's going to produce more income for yourself. But if you're one of those who says, look, I'm going to blow it on this, or I'm going to splurge. They don't use the term blow it because they know that sounds very irresponsible. The term that they use is splurge. I'm going to splurge and I'm going to get this thing that I've wanted for a long time. A lot of people splurge and get themselves a new purse or get that new hairdo, the new weave that they wanted put in, or the new gym shoes, or the new outfit, all of these nonsensical things. I'm appealing to those of you who like to splurge or blow your money during tax season. Think about the future. Think about what you can do to improve your life and stop wasting your money. We cannot be this clueless as a people. I mean, gee whiz, we have got to get it together. We can no longer use the excuses of slavery and curses and white men holding me down type excuses and scenarios to justify our own part and our own demise. We cannot continue to use those excuses. There comes a time to where excuses have to be driven out, and you've got to do something beyond that. You've got to get to yourself to the point where you are making a conscious choice to dig yourself out of this pit and say, look, I'm going to do something meaningful. I'm going to do something that's going to be of benefit to my family or to a larger group of people, or something that's going to improve my situation, not something that's going to put me into a deeper hole. Time to get a grip, family. That's my update on the tax season for this year, because we know a lot of people depend on that. Whatever your reasons for depending on it, that is the update, and do with it what you will. Okay? With that, I will say shalom.